Welcome in, guys, to the Cozy's Ghost Adventures. Today I just want to read you a short story that I found that I thought was pretty interesting. So, without further ado, let's get started. A hiker decided to go on a hike all by himself. Something he was not very used to. Well, if he calls himself a hiker and he decided to go by himself, who's a hiker that doesn't go on their own hikes sometimes? I mean, I guess some people always have to bring somebody. Okay, fair enough. Something he was not very used to. The whole day was normal. Trees and bushes engulfed his surroundings. He enjoyed being outdoors in the mountains. Nothing seems too strange to him. That was until he was making his way back to his car. He figured an 8-hour hike was good enough. That's a long hike. If I was gonna go for a hike, I'd go for like 2 hours max. Well, good for him. The sky was already getting dark and he needed to get back fast. What was odd was how much he didn't recognize the trail back that he came on. So he began to panic. Rule number 1. Don't panic. I'm just saying. I mean, I guess it's easy to panic if you're in that situation. You're like, where do I go? What do I do? Oh my God. Night had already taken over, and all he had was his flashlight and no clue on how to get back. He knew it was already too late and too dangerous to keep going through the perilous forest. What does perilous mean, anyways? He began to worry that he would have no shelter for the night when almost luckily enough, he stumbled across a broken down cabin. So he found a cabin in the middle of nowhere. Would you guys stay in that? Would you guys stay in a cabin if you didn't even know someone was living in there? I don't know. It was dark and seemed like no one had visited it in years. But he knew it was the only place where he could rest until daylight, especially since his flashlight was running out of battery. All right. He knocked on the door a few times, but no one answered. So he let himself in, where, strangely enough, a perfect bed fitted for one person awaited him in the center of the cabin. He knew that if the owner came back, he could explain himself. He was sure that the owner wouldn't mind. All right, so that's what he was thinking. Or was even probably dead. Okay. So he went ahead and got himself comfortable in the bed. I mean, he's just assuming a lot of things there, if you ask me. So he went ahead and got himself comfortable in the bed. As he tried to sleep, he couldn't ignore a collection of paintings around the room. Portraits of strange-looking people all peering at him all around this cabin. Each wearing a smile that sent chills up his spine. Not too long after, his exhaustion from the hike got the best of him, and he was able to ignore the faces. So he finally got to go to bed. And when he woke up the next morning, this is what happened. The next morning he got up and was shocked to see that there were no paintings around the room whatsoever, but windows. Does that not send chills up your spine? What was looking at him through those windows? We will never know. But that was a good story. I wanted to share that on the channel. Catch you guys on the next one.